Julie Bonnet here. I'm currently 5 weeks out from defending my Miss WBFF Pro Fitness Model North American Championship, which I won last year. I'm hoping for a repeat and a new tiara this year. I thought I would spend some time with this blog reviewing the bikini and fitness model posing for both the IFBB and WBFF shows. Your first priority is making a good connection with the judges as soon as you enter on stage and making sure that you really connect with the audience right away. My tip is that if you're walking out all as a group, let the competitor in front of you take at least 1 or 2 steps beforehand so that you're not doing a little shuffle because of how they decide to walk on stage. Make sure you can walk your strut at your own pace. Also, before you walk out on stage, make sure that your carriage is good, that you're holding your abs nice and tight, nice and tall through your midsection. And as soon as you walk out past the curtains, connect with the audience and give them that beautiful smile. You really want the judges to see how enthusiastic you are and allow the audience to connect with you. So in the wings, stand nice and tall, shoulders back. Let the competitor in front of you take a few steps, or if it's your T-walk, get that smile ready to go. And right away, connect with the audience. That bikini front pose has been a tricky one to get. The way that I break it down for my competitors is that after taking a few struts forward, you want to get into this power stance right away. That's probably the one that most of the judges are going to be wanting to see because they can do the comparisons most easily with the other athletes. So I have my girls take a nice wide stance. Of course, that booty pop. So you're not standing straight, you got a little pop in your booty pop. So you're going to walk up, do that booty pop, throw your hip to one side, and then basically twist your body slightly so that you can see a bit of your glute there. So you're not twisting your whole body, you're leaving your shoulders facing forward and just twisting your upper body. So just break it down to you. And it's a tough one to hold, so make sure you get your conditioning for that one. Depending on the federation that you're competing with, you either have half turns or quarter turns. Be sure to check carefully to see whether the organization that you're competing with has half turns or quarter turns, and note that these do sometimes change from one season to the next, or even from one show to another. One important thing to note is that whether you're going from your front pose to a back pose or front pose to a side pose, the transitions are very important. It's tough for me to show transitions on this little platform, but basically that's just one way of getting gracefully from one pose into the other. So I tend to just have my athletes take a step forward with their left foot, pop their booty out there, and then you can either turn straight into the back pose, or you can go forward, pop your booty out, and pull yourself back into a side pose. Why, hello there. That back pose has a few variations. You can either opt to do the one that has the legs together or the legs apart, and also speak with your trainer or perhaps the head judges in your area regarding what their preference is. For my athletes, I tend to have them go either from their front pose or their side pose straight into the back pose with legs together. And then they can kind of pop out into the other one to add some interest and some variety to their posing. One thing is with the back pose as opposed to the front pose, you can really bend over on that a little bit more to showcase the glute and hamstring tie-in. I'd like to share with you a style I came up with in 2010 to help me add a little bit more flair and interest to my stage presentation while still having the polished look that I like to have coming back from my fitness routine days. My trick with the poses, now again, it depends which organization you're competing with, how much fun you can have with this choreography, we'll say. In some organizations, they allow you to play with your hair, and in others, they really prefer you keep your hands down. The same goes for whether you can play with your hair in the beginning in your T-walk or your model walk, and how much is involved with how far out on the stage you go, or if they prefer you to keep your hands down. Now, this is my idea. So basically, I practice 3 different front poses. So let's say this is pose number 1, this is pose number 2, and this is pose number 3. And when I'm on stage, I go back and forth slowly every 3 to 5 seconds between each of these poses. So if you're watching just me on stage when I'm in a lineup with the other girls, this is how it would look. you can see how really I'm just varying between those 3 poses. The idea being that I'm comfortable in those poses. I know they best showcase my body, but if somebody's watching me or comparing me with the other girls, I'm constantly pulling into a new pose. So it's interesting to watch me on stage and my body is flexed without looking too tight. So that tip would be different poses. Goes for really all of my poses on stage. So I'll just take a little bit of time to go through some of my quarter turns for you. Well, I hope that you picked up a few tips. I could go on and on about posing, and I do offer private posing sessions via contestprep.com if you're interested. I know I didn't take much time talking about my actual training this season, but if you look back at my past Fusion bodybuilding vlogs, you can find out a lot about what I do to get into top shape. And of course, this year, add the Purple K reps, because that's been my favorite pre-workout. All right, I hope everyone has a healthy season.